If you're over 60 and find yourself staring at the ceiling at, say, 2:17 a.m., wide awake and frustrated, you're in good company. My name is Harold Bennett. I'm 76, and I used to know that frustration all too well. The only thing in my house that slept soundly was my old beagle, Gus. It's a common complaint, isn't it? And a miserable one. A few years back, after a bit of a health scare with my heart, my doctor and I had a long chat about sleep. We talked about pills, of course, but the one thing that truly got me back to sleeping like a young man again wasn't in a prescription bottle. It was sitting right there in the produce aisle. We're talking about two fuzzy little kiwi fruits. Yes, I was skeptical too, but my doctor pointed me to some studies, and the evidence was just too strong to ignore. Eating two of these little green gems an hour before bed has been shown to cut the time it takes to fall asleep by more than a third. Think about that. No pills, no groggy mornings, no worrying about dependency, just real food. I've always believed that information doesn't change people, but a new identity does. I decided I wanted to be the kind of person who sleeps well naturally, and it all started with a couple of kiwis. Stick with me for a few minutes, and I'll tell you exactly why this simple trick works so well and how I made it part of my nightly routine. It's easier than you think, and the payoff is a good night's sleep. So why does sleep become such a fickle friend as we get older? It's not just in our heads. My doctor explained that our brains make barely half the melatonin they did when we were 30. He called melatonin the hormone of darkness, the body's signal that it's time to wind down. A weaker signal means it's harder to get to sleep. Then you add on the medications many of us take, some of which can be surprisingly stimulating, and the fact that we might not get as much bright sunlight during the day to keep our internal clocks on schedule. And of course, those inevitable trips to the bathroom in the middle of the night. It's the perfect recipe for frustration. When you're desperate, it's tempting to reach for a sleeping pill. I've been there, but after my heart attack, I became much more cautious. That next day dizziness from sleeping pills can more than double the risk of a fall, and that's a serious worry. I also read that the FDA has warned that many of them can fog your memory. The last thing I wanted was to feel less sharp. What we really need at our age isn't a pharmaceutical sledgehammer. It's a gentle nudge, something that works with our body, not against it, something that helps us ease into sleep rather than forcing it. This is where our humble kiwi fruit comes in. Being a retired history teacher, I love a good story backed by evidence. My doctor told me about some researchers in Taiwan who asked folks with insomnia to eat 2 kiwis an hour before bed. After just 4 weeks, the results were remarkable. The time it took them to fall asleep dropped by 35%. Their total sleep time increased by 13%, and the frequency of annoying middle-of-the-night wake-ups decreased by nearly 30%. Imagine going from tossing and turning for an hour to drifting off in half that time. That's a game changer. So what's the secret? It's not magic, it's just good science. Kiwis are full of beneficial things, but the real stars for sleep are serotonin, things that help your body make melatonin, and a whole lot of antioxidants. Think of serotonin as your brain's natural dimmer switch. Your body uses that serotonin to make melatonin. So eating a kiwi is like handing your body the tools it needs to do its job properly instead of having a drug company do it. And those antioxidants, they help calm down the low-level inflammation in our bodies that can interfere with a good night's rest. It's a complete solution from one little fruit. All right, so you're ready to give it a try. Here's exactly what I do, and it's as simple as can be. First, when I'm at the store, I look for kiwis that have a little give when I press them gently. Those are the ripest and sweetest. This should be a treat after all. Next, you eat 2 of them. Now the big debate, skin or no skin. It's up to you. I've done it both ways. The skin has extra fiber, but the good stuff for sleep is mainly in the green flesh. So if you don't like the fuzzy skin, just peel it. Now this next part is crucial, the timing. You want to eat your 2 kiwis about 60 minutes before you plan to turn off the lights. Why an hour? Because it gives your body time to digest the fruit and for all those good things to get to your brain and start working their magic. It's a biological process. It needs a little head start. I'll have my kiwis with a small glass of water. And here's the trade-off I made. I skipped my old nightly cookie. I know it can be hard to give up those little habits, but sugar can give you a little jolt of energy and mess with your blood sugar overnight. 2 kiwis are only about 80 calories total, which is far kinder to my waistline than a cookie, and they satisfy that craving for something sweet. It's a win-win. Now, a lot of people have heard about Tart cherry juice for sleep, and it's a fair question. I asked my doctor about it myself. Tart cherry juice does have natural melatonin and tryptophan, just like kiwis, and there's good research showing it can help. However, there are a few practical problems that made kiwi the better choice for me. To get the dose used in the studies, you often have to drink about 16 ounces of the juice a day. That's a lot of liquid, around 200 calories, and frankly, drinking that much before bed means more trips to the bathroom, which is exactly what we're trying to avoid. Another thing to watch for is added sugar. Many bottled versions, even the ones for sleep, have a lot of it. As we just said, sugar is the enemy of good sleep. If you really love the stuff, that's fine, but you have to account for the calories and make absolutely sure you buy the unsweetened concentrate and dilute it yourself. For me, when I weighed the convenience, the cost, and the bathroom trips, those 2 simple kiwis won, hands down. They're just easier to make part of my night. Let's tackle some of the questions you might have. I know I had them. First, will the sugar in fruit wake me up? I was concerned about this myself, but the good news is that kiwis release their natural sugars very slowly, so you don't get those spikes and crashes in blood sugar that can wake you up. Your body stays on an even keel, focused on sleep. Next, what if I have dentures or trouble chewing? A good friend of mine, Marion, has this issue. The solution is simple. Just blend the flesh of the 2 kiwis into a little 2-ounce shot. You get all the same benefits. I'm on blood thinners. Is kiwi okay? This was a very important question for me after my heart attack. You should always discuss this with your doctor. Kiwis do have vitamin K, which is involved in blood clotting. The key, as my doctor explained, is consistency. If you make 2 kiwis a part of your nightly routine, your levels will stay stable. The problems come from sudden changes. So I just told my doctor I was starting this habit, and she keeps an eye on my levels to make sure everything stays balanced. And finally, do I have to eat the fuzzy skin? As I said, no, you don't. The sleep benefits are in the green flesh, so peel away if that's what you prefer. The benefit is still there. If an old teacher like me can learn a new trick for a good night's sleep, maybe this little bit of hope is making you yawn already. If so, do me a favor and tap that like button. It's a small thing, but it tells the internet that this is useful information and helps it find the next person who's staring at their ceiling at 2:17 a.m. Now, knowing about the kiwi isn't enough. You have to make it a habit, and the key to a new habit is to make it easy and unavoidable. This is where we go from just having information to changing our identity. First, make it visible. When I get home from the store, I don't bury the kiwis in the refrigerator. I put them in a bowl right on the kitchen counter where I'll see them after dinner. Out of sight is out of mind. Second, for the first week, I set a little alarm on my phone for kiwi time about an hour before I wanted to go to bed. That little chime was the nudge I needed until the routine became automatic. Third, and this is a powerful trick, I stacked it onto a habit I already had. Think of something you do every single night. For me, it's letting Gus the dog out for his last trip of the night. As soon as we come back in, I go straight for the kiwis. Let the dog out, then eat kiwis. It piggybacks the new habit onto an old one. You'll be amazed at how quickly it becomes second nature. After a week, I noticed I was falling asleep faster. By the 4th week, I was really feeling the full benefits the studies talked about. It's not a miracle cure overnight, but a gentle, steady improvement that builds on itself. While the kiwi is the star of the show, I've found a few supporting actors that can make it work even better. One of my favorites is magnesium. It's a mineral that helps your body use all the good stuff in the kiwi to make melatonin. It also helps calm the nervous system and relax your muscles. An easy way to get it? A small handful of almonds. About 10 nuts is all you need. They also have a bit of healthy fat and more sleep-friendly compounds. Walnuts are another excellent choice. I think of them as the quiet partner that makes the kiwi shine even brighter. Beyond snacks, think about your evening. I'm now very strict about no caffeine after 2 p.m. That afternoon, coffee can linger in your system for hours, and I make sure to dim the lights in the house after dinner. Bright lights and screens tell your brain it's still daytime. These little tweaks, combined with the nightly Kiwi, can make a huge difference. Let's talk about the money for a moment, because when you're on a fixed income like I am, every dollar counts. This solution isn't just effective, it's incredibly affordable. 2 organic Kiwis usually cost me about $1, maybe $1.50. Now compare that to a $20 or $30 box of over-the-counter sleep aids, or a $40 bottle of that Tart cherry concentrate. $1 a night for better sleep starts to sound pretty good. And it's not just the sticker price. There's no pharmacy copay, no driving to pick up refills. I just toss the fruit into my cart with the milk and eggs. It's simple, it's affordable, and it doesn't require jumping through any hoops. It's a solution that makes my wallet just as happy as my body. Look, I'm the living proof of this. I'm Harold. I'm 76, and I used to be that fellow with the nightly cookie habit who was guaranteed to be wide awake at 3 a.m. We traded that cookie for 2 Kiwis, and now I sleep soundly until 5:30 a.m. without that frustrating interruption. My doctor even jokes that I look 10 years younger, and it's not just me. I told my friend Marion about it. She's 68 and was convinced she needed her melatonin gummies to get any sleep at all. She swapped the gummies for the Kiwis, and just last week she showed me the data from her fancy watch. It confirmed what she already felt, an extra 40 minutes of deep sleep each night. 40 minutes. These are just regular folks like us, finding a simple, natural way back to a good night's rest. All right, you have the information, you have the plan. Now it's your turn. Tonight, after dinner, just set 2 Kiwis on your counter. Make them visible. An hour before you plan to go to bed, eat them. Then when it's time for lights out, settle in and just notice what happens. See how you feel in the morning. If you've been waiting for a permission slip to finally break up with those sleepless nights, consider this it. No prescription needed, no complicated rules, just 2 little Kiwis and a commitment to your own well-being. I am so confident in this that I want you to come back here and drop your results in the comments after a week or 2. I read them, and I'd love to hear your story. And if you enjoy hearing these simple lessons from an old fella who's learning to age with a bit of grace, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you again soon. Until then, sweet dreams.